Picture this. You're sitting in your favorite Starbucks in Manhattan, scrolling through your iPhone 15 when suddenly, crash. Your ceramic mug hits the floor. Coffee everywhere, pieces scattered like confetti across the polished concrete. Now here's the challenge. Have you ever, even once in your entire life, seen that process happen in reverse? Coffee stains lifting off the ground, ceramic shards flying upward through the air, fusing together perfectly while landing gently back on your table, steam rising from the now perfect cup? Never. And Stephen Hawking proved with absolute mathematical certainty, you never will. Today we're diving into one of the most brilliant scientific discoveries of our time. How that broken coffee cup just destroyed every Hollywood time travel movie you've ever loved. Back to the Future? Impossible. Terminator? Fantasy? Marvel's Avengers time heist? Pure fiction. The countless hours you've spent dreaming about going back to fix that one mistake, that one regret, that one moment that changed everything. Hawking's research revealed why the universe has made that dream categorically impossible. But here's the mind-blowing part that will change everything. This limitation might actually be the universe's greatest gift to humanity. What if that simple coffee cup holds the key to understanding time itself? That shattered ceramic represents something far more profound than a simple accident at your local coffee shop. Hawking recognized it as a demonstration of the most powerful force in the universe, stronger than gravity, more absolute than the speed of light itself, more fundamental than any force Hollywood has ever imagined. It's called entropy, and it's the reason Doc Brown's flux capacitor-powered DeLorean could never ever exist. When your cup sits whole on that table, it represents perfect order. Every ceramic atom locked in crystalline formation, every coffee molecule contained within precise boundaries, every detail arranged with mathematical precision. But here's what Hawking's research revealed that will absolutely blow your mind. There's only one way for that cup to be perfect, but there are literally infinite ways for it to be destroyed. The handle could snap off cleanly. The base could shatter into a spider web of cracks. It could explode into microscopic fragments. It could split perfectly down the middle. The mathematical possibilities for destruction are endless, while perfection has only one configuration. Nature loves options. Nature loves chaos. Nature is addicted to disorder. This is the second law of thermodynamics, the sheriff of the universe that never takes a day off, never goes on vacation, never looks the other way. Think about this carefully. When that cup shatters, entropy explodes in every direction. Sound waves ripple outward at 1,125 feet per second, carrying energy away forever. Heat dissipates into the surrounding air. Vibrations travel through the floor, up through the building's steel framework, into the very foundations. Even the neurons in your brain fire in completely different patterns as you process the crash, creating new neural pathways that didn't exist moments before. Your iPhone on the table vibrates microscopically from the impact. The barista across the room turns her head, her brain processing new sensory information. A customer outside glances through the window. The ripple effects spread outward like a stone thrown into a cosmic pond, touching everything, changing everything forever. To reverse this process, to make that cup whole again, you would need to convince every single atom in the observable universe to reverse course simultaneously. Every air molecule that vibrated with the sound, every photon of light that bounced off the falling fragments, every gravitational wave that rippled through space-time when ceramic met floor, every electron that shifted position, every quantum field that fluctuated. You would need to reverse the entropy of the entire cosmos, all 93 billion light-years of observable universe, containing roughly 1082 atoms, all moving in perfect reverse synchronization. And the mathematics show that the universe would literally rather cease to exist than let that happen. This is why you've never seen a broken iPhone screen spontaneously heal itself. Why shattered car windshields don't magically reassemble on American highways. Why Humpty Dumpty couldn't be put back together again, no matter how many king's horses and king's men tried. But wait, maybe you're thinking like Marty McFly. I don't need to fix coffee cups, I just want a simple time machine. Go back 10 minutes, prevent that one stupid text message I sent, fix one mistake, done. How hard could it be? Here's where physics delivers the most spectacular reality check in history. What Back to the Future, Terminator, and every other Hollywood time travel movie never told you What they couldn't tell you, because it would destroy their entire premise, is this: we're not sitting still. Not even close. Right now, as you watch this video on your device, you feel completely motionless. You're probably sitting in a chair, maybe lying in bed, feeling perfectly stationary. But you're actually hurtling through space at absolutely terrifying speeds that would make a NASA rocket engineer dizzy. Earth spins on its axis at 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, faster than the speed of sound. We're orbiting the Sun at 67,000 miles per hour, fast enough to circle the entire Earth in 22 minutes. Our solar system is racing around the center of the Milky Way galaxy at 500,000 miles per hour. And our galaxy itself is rocketing through the expanding universe at over 1.3 million miles per hour. You are currently traveling through space faster than any human-made object has ever moved, and you don't feel a thing because everything around you is moving at the same incredible speeds. Your hypothetical time machine travels through time but stays in the same spatial coordinates. 10 minutes ago, Earth was thousands of miles away on its orbital path around the Sun. But the Sun wasn't in the same place either. It had moved tens of thousands of miles along its galactic orbit, and the galaxy itself had shifted position in the expanding fabric of space-time. Step out of your machine, and you don't emerge in your comfortable laboratory or your childhood bedroom. You materialize in the cold, airless vacuum of space, 93 million miles from the nearest source of warmth, gasping for air that doesn't exist, your blood beginning to boil in the near-absolute zero temperature. NASA engineers know this intimately. Every GPS satellite orbiting Earth, the same system that guides your Tesla to the nearest Whole Foods, has to account for relativistic effects constantly. Time literally runs faster in orbit than it does on Earth's surface. Without continuous corrections for these temporal differences, your smartphone's navigation would be off by miles within hours. The engineers at SpaceX understand this when they calculate trajectories to the International Space Station. They're not just aiming for where the station is now, they're calculating where it will be when their Dragon capsule arrives, accounting for the complex dance of orbital mechanics in three-dimensional space. Space and time aren't separate entities that you can navigate independently, like rooms in a house. Einstein showed us they're one unified fabric called spacetime, woven together so tightly that you cannot move through one without affecting the other. Hollywood makes it look easy because screenwriters don't understand physics. They imagine time travel like walking through a door, simple, straightforward, consequence-free. But reality is far more complex, far more interconnected, and far more beautiful than any movie could ever capture. Okay, you might say, channeling your inner Tony Stark, what if we just go really, really fast? Faster than light? Build some kind of arc reactor-powered ship and outrun time itself? This is where the universe plays its most elegant and cruelest joke on anyone who thinks they can outsmart the laws of physics. Yes, time travel to the future is absolutely real. NASA has measured it thousands of times. The astronauts on the International Space Station are literally traveling into the future every second they're in orbit. When they return to Earth after 6 months, they've aged about 0.01 seconds less than people on the surface. It's tiny, but it's real, measurable, and happens every single day. If you built a spacecraft capable of traveling at 99.9% the speed of light, something that would make Elon Musk's Starship look like a paper airplane, and flew to Proxima Centauri, our nearest stellar neighbor, you could return to Earth to find that decades had passed while only months passed for you. Your iPhone would be a museum piece. The apps you use daily would be ancient history. Everyone you knew would be elderly or dead. You'd be a time traveler, but only in one direction, forward. But traveling backward, Einstein's mathematics suggest you'd need to exceed the speed of light. And here's where nature draws an absolute line in the cosmic sand, a barrier more impenetrable than any wall ever built. As you accelerate toward light speed, something extraordinary and terrifying happens. You gain mass. Einstein's famous equation E or mc2 isn't just a pretty formula, it's a description of how energy transforms into mass. The faster you go, the more energy you need. The more energy you pump in, the heavier you become. To reach exactly the speed of light would require infinite energy, not just all the power generated by every nuclear reactor in America, not just all the energy produced by our sun in its entire 10 billion-year lifetime, not just all the energy contained in our galaxy's 400 billion stars, but literally infinite energy. The universe doesn't have infinite energy to give you. Every joule, every quantum of energy that has existed since the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago, every photon from every star that has ever shone, it's all finite. The cosmic speed limit isn't a suggestion or a technical challenge to be overcome with better engineering. It's an absolute barrier built into the fundamental architecture of reality itself, protecting the past from interference. Think about what this means. The same force that prevents you from traveling faster than light is the same force that prevents you from outrunning the consequences of your actions, from escaping the weight of your choices, from undoing the permanent marks you leave on the fabric of space-time. But here's what troubled Hawking most throughout his career. What haunts every physicist who has ever seriously considered time travel: the logic problem. Throughout his decades studying the universe's strangest phenomena, black holes that warp space-time so severely that time nearly stops, quantum mechanics that allows particles to exist in multiple states simultaneously, the Big Bang that created everything from nothing, Hawking discovered one fundamental truth. The universe may be weird, counterintuitive, and downright bizarre, but it is never, ever contradictory. Time travel to the past creates paradoxes, and the universe abhors paradoxes more than anything else in existence. Remember the Terminator. Kyle Reese travels back from 2029 to 1984 to protect Sarah Connor from a cyborg assassin. While there, he fathers John Connor with Sarah. John grows up to become the leader of the human resistance, who then sends Kyle back in time to protect his mother. But wait, who came first? Kyle couldn't have gone back without John sending him, but John couldn't exist without Kyle going back. The effect becomes its own cause. Information destroys its own origin. It's a logical impossibility wrapped in an action movie. Or consider this more personal scenario. Imagine you have an iPhone app that can call the past. Let's call it Time FaceTime. You use it to call yourself 5 minutes ago and say, whatever you do, don't answer your phone when it rings in 5 minutes. If your past self follows this advice and doesn't answer, then you never receive the message telling you not to answer. So you do answer the call. But then you receive the message not to answer. So you don't answer. But then you never get the message. Round and round in an infinite loop. What happens? Does your iPhone explode? Does reality crash like a computer with a fatal error? The universe would have to choose between contradictory states of reality. A thing would have to be true and false simultaneously, which violates the most basic principles of logic that govern existence itself. Some people, particularly Marvel movie fans, suggest that time travel might create alternate timelines, branching realities where every possible outcome exists simultaneously. It's a clever narrative device, but it's just running away from the problem into a fantasy land of infinite universes. In our universe, the one where you're watching this video right now, the one where your coffee cup breaks and stays broken, cause must precede effect. Always, without exception. The universe allows for many phenomena that seem impossible. Quantum entanglement, where particles instantly affect each other across distances of billions of light years. Quantum tunneling, where particles pass through barriers they shouldn't be able to cross. Superposition, where particles exist in multiple states until observed, but it will never, under any circumstances, allow logical nonsense. Hawking's work consistently showed that the universe is strange, but it's never illogical. The laws of physics may be counterintuitive, but they're always consistent. Here's the profound truth that Hawking's research revealed. We're not just prevented from traveling backward through time, we're actively carried forward by time's arrow, surfing on a wave of causality that has been building since the moment the universe began. Time has direction, and that direction is toward increasing entropy. We are all falling through time, falling from the Big Bang state of perfect order 13.8 billion years ago toward a future of maximum chaos, the heat death of the universe, when all energy will be evenly distributed across space, when no more stars can form, when no more work can be done, when the cosmos reaches a state of perfect, eternal equilibrium. This might sound depressing, like we're all passengers on the Titanic of existence, doomed to sink into cosmic oblivion. But Hawking's insights revealed it's actually the source of everything beautiful, everything meaningful, everything worth living for. This arrow of time, driven by relentless entropy increase, is what allows stars to shine by fusing hydrogen into heavier elements, creating the carbon, oxygen, and iron that make up your body. It's what allows planets to form from cosmic dust, creating worlds where chemistry can become biology. It's what drives the evolution of life from simple molecules to complex organisms capable of love, art, and wonder. It's what permits consciousness to emerge from matter, allowing the universe to become aware of itself. Without entropy increase, without the inexorable flow from order to disorder, nothing interesting could ever happen. The universe would be static, frozen in perfect crystalline order, beautiful perhaps, but dead. Change requires the arrow of time, and the arrow of time requires entropy. We are riding the wave of entropy as it crashes forward through the cosmos, and it's the most exhilarating ride in existence. Behind us lies the fixed, immutable past. Every choice made, every word spoken, every moment lived is now carved permanently into the structure of space-time itself, as real and unchangeable as the mountains and valleys of Earth. Ahead lies infinite possibility, a quantum foam of potential futures waiting for us to collapse them into actuality with our decisions, our actions, our very existence. Now you might think this is tragic. You might feel cheated, trapped in an eternal present with no escape to the past, no way to undo your mistakes, no method to rewrite your story with the wisdom you've gained through years of suffering and experience. But Hawking's perspective reveals something completely different, and by the end of this, you'll see it too. This temporal prison is the universe's greatest gift to consciousness. It's not a limitation, it's liberation in its purest, most beautiful form. Because you cannot go back this moment, right now, as your neurons fire in patterns that will never be exactly repeated, as your heart beats a rhythm unique in the history of the cosmos, is infinitely precious. It cannot be repeated, revised, or undone. Your choices matter absolutely, because they ripple forward through time forever, becoming part of the permanent architecture of reality. If you could rewrite the past, then nothing would truly matter. Every moment would be a rough draft. Every decision would be temporary. Every relationship would be disposable. Every act of love, courage, or creativity could be erased and tried again until you achieved some impossible standard of perfection. The weight of consequence is what gives meaning to existence. Consider this deeply. If you could go back and fix every mistake, would you ever learn? Would you ever grow? Would you ever develop the wisdom that comes from living with the results of your choices? Would you ever appreciate the preciousness of a moment if you knew you could always return to it? Would love mean anything if it could be endlessly revised? Would forgiveness have any value if mistakes could simply be erased? The universe forces us to be responsible for our actions by making those actions permanent. It teaches us to choose carefully by making our choices irreversible. It shows us the infinite value of the present by making the past unreachable and the future uncertain. That broken coffee cup on the floor of that Manhattan Starbucks isn't just a mess to be cleaned up. It's a profound teacher. It's showing you that actions have consequences, that the present moment matters absolutely, that the universe is writing your story in permanent ink, not erasable pencil. Every fragment of that shattered ceramic is now part of the permanent record of reality, as real and lasting as the stars themselves. We cannot go back. And based on everything Hawking discovered about the universe, that's exactly how it should be. The mystery lies ahead, not behind. The unknown is what makes science and life worth living. Every day brings new discoveries that reshape our understanding of reality, new possibilities that expand the horizon of human potential, new chances to push the boundaries of what's possible. Instead of dreaming of DeLoreans with flux capacitors, let's build SpaceX rockets that can actually carry us to Mars. Instead of wishing for cosmic do-overs, let's make better choices going forward with the wisdom we've earned through experience. Instead of trying to escape the arrow of time, let's ride it with purpose, wonder, and gratitude for the incredible journey we're on. The broken coffee cup will never reassemble itself. The harsh words you spoke in anger will never be unspoken. The opportunities you missed will never return. The people you've lost will never come back to share another conversation, another laugh, another moment of connection. But tomorrow will bring new cups, new words, new chances, new people to love. The future is not a consolation prize for a past you cannot change. It's an infinite canvas waiting for you to paint your masterpiece. The arrow of time points forward, and so must we. That's not a limitation. It's the greatest adventure in the universe. That's not a prison. It's freedom to create meaning from chaos, to build beauty from disorder, to forge love from the raw materials of existence. We are temporary patterns of matter and energy, brief candles flickering in the cosmic dark. But we are also something far more extraordinary. We are the universe becoming conscious of itself. We are the cosmos, waking up and looking around in wonder at its own magnificent complexity. And that wonder, that consciousness, that ability to love and create and dream and hope, that is worth more than any time machine could ever be. Stephen Hawking spent his life showing us that the universe's apparent limitations are actually its greatest gifts. The impossibility of time travel isn't a cosmic cruel joke. It's the foundation of meaning itself. If this just shattered your understanding of time like that coffee cup shattered on the floor, you absolutely cannot miss what's coming next. Stephen Hawking's discoveries about black holes might reveal the universe's ultimate recycling machines, and why that discovery could completely change everything we think we know about death, consciousness, and what happens to information when it falls past the event horizon. Hit that subscribe button right now and smash that notification bell, because this series will take you deeper into the mysteries of the cosmos than any Hollywood movie, any science fiction novel, any documentary has ever dared to go. We're going to explore questions that will keep you awake at night. What happens to your consciousness when you die? Can information truly be destroyed? Are we living in a simulation? Is the universe itself conscious? Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one moment from your past you'd most want to change, and how does knowing you absolutely can't change it make you feel about the choices you'll make in your future? The universe is listening, time is waiting, and your next choice, the next word you speak, the next action you take, the next moment you choose to love instead of hate, starts right now. Don't let this knowledge slip away into the unreachable past. The next video in this series drops in exactly 48 hours, and it will completely blow your mind about what happens when you fall into a black hole. Will you be spaghettified? Will you see the end of the universe? Will you survive the journey to the singularity? Subscribe now or miss the most mind-bending journey through space-time you'll ever experience. The cosmos is vast, time is precious, and the greatest discoveries are still ahead of us. Let's explore them together.